Welcome to Coffee Break. Thoughtful conversations for a busy world. Let's begin.
I mean, if you look around today, we have more time-saving apps and automated workflows than any generation in human history.
Oh, without a doubt, it's everywhere.
Right, like scheduling algorithms, meal prep hacks, you name it. And by all logical metrics, we should be just drowning in an abundance of free time.
Yeah, we should be taking, 3-hour lunches and relaxing.
Exactly. But we aren't. We are actually sleeping about an hour less per night than we did a century ago.
Which is wild to think about.
It is wild. And we are reporting these record high levels of systemic burnout. So today we are doing a deep dive into a stack of source material, and it's all centered around this really fascinating piece titled The Tyranny of the Optimized Life.
Yeah, that's a great title, too.
It really is. And the central mission for this deep dive, what we really want to unpack for you today, is this idea that your relentless life-hacking habit isn't the cure to your exhaustion.
Right.
It is actually the disease.
Right.
We're going to explore this modern friction of treating our lives like machines that constantly need to be tuned for peak productivity.
Yeah, that machine metaphor is huge.
And we'll look at why the ultimate cost of that mindset is, honestly, our own humanity. So to kick us off, what is the core aha moment here?
Well, the real aha moment buried in these sources is just this complete reversal of how we typically view self-improvement.
Okay. How so?
I mean, we all operate under the assumption that if we just find the right morning routine...
Oh, yeah, the legendary 5 a.m. ice bath and journaling session?
Exactly, yeah. Or the perfect macronutrient balance, or, the ultimate calendar blocking system. We think if we hit those marks, we will finally achieve this state of tranquil control.
Like we'll finally ascend to some productivity nirvana.
Right, but the sources suggest that the very act of trying to optimize every single facet of our existence is actually the exact mechanism that's generating our misery.
Wait, the optimization itself is causing the misery.
100%. Because we are fundamentally forgetting that vast, vital parts of the human experience are meant to be felt and lived through. They aren't meant to be fixed or upgraded.
Wow. Meant to be felt, not fixed. That really reframes everything. But I think to understand how we got to a place where we're even trying to, upgrade ourselves in the first place, we really have to look at the language we use.
Oh, language is everything here.
Right. Because the whole premise hinges on this phrase, the optimized life. And optimized is not biological language.
No, not at all. It's industrial.
Yeah. Like when I think about the times I've told a coworker, I just don't have the bandwidth for that project right now.
Or I need to recharge my batteries.
Yes, recharging my batteries over the weekend. I am literally speaking about my own mind and body as if I am like a piece of consumer electronics.
And that vocabulary shift is so profound because language dictates our perception.
Mm-hmm.
Optimization is a concept that we borrow directly from economics, from computer science, and really from engineering.
So it's about systems and outputs.
Exactly. When you apply that word to a human life, you instantly start evaluating your days based purely on utility.
So a good day is a day where you produced a lot.
Right. You turn your daily routines into algorithms.
Yeah.
You wake up, and instead of just, drinking a cup of coffee because you like how it tastes, you are drinking it to maximize your alertness window for a deep work block.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second, because when you put it like that, it reminds me of how people treat their smartphone batteries.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
You know what I mean? Like, think about when your phone is at 20% and you start obsessing over every percentage drop.
You start shutting down all the apps.
Yes, you go in and you force close all the background apps. And in our lives, those background apps are like our hobbies or daydreaming or just staring out a window.
Inefficient stuff.
Exactly. We shut all of that down just to squeeze out one more hour of battery life for work. And in the process, we completely forget to actually enjoy using the phone.
That is exactly what the source material is pointing out. And it goes even deeper when you think about the implications of that smartphone mindset. Well, if your life is just a machine or a battery to be managed, then basic human rest, is no longer viewed as a natural biological necessity.
What is it viewed as, then?
It becomes mere downtime. It's just maintenance required to prevent the machine from overheating.
Oh, wow. So you aren't resting because resting is pleasurable.
No, you're resting so you can work harder tomorrow. You see this everywhere with the commodification of sleep right now.
Oh, the sleep trackers, the rings and the watches.
Yes, we aren't going to sleep anymore because sleep is this beautiful, restorative state where we dream.
Right. We're sleeping to get a high recovery score on a dashboard app.
Exactly. We want that little green circle to close so we know we can maximize our physical output the next day.
It's like we are resting to serve the productivity rather than being productive so we can afford to rest.
And that flips the entire human equation upside down.
It really does. But if we are treating ourselves like these machines that constantly need to be tuned, if we are always monitoring the battery and checking the dashboard, who or what is actually driving this machine?
Well, that leads directly into the concept of tyranny.
Right. The title of the piece is The Tyranny of the Optimized Life. And tyranny is a really heavy, deliberate word choice.
It's the perfect word for it, honestly.
Why is that?
Because a tyrant isn't just a bad boss. A tyrant implies a ruler who is cruel, oppressive, and totally inescapable.
Right. You can't just quit a tyrant.
Exactly. And in this context, the ruler isn't a person. It's not your manager at work or the algorithm on your social media feed.
So who is it?
It is the unending, internalized pursuit of peak productivity.
Yeah.
It's a tyrant that lives inside your own head.
Oh, man. So we are our own dictators.
We are. And the thing about optimization is that it creates a constantly moving goalpost.
What do you mean by that?
Well, let's say you optimize your email workflow, right? You find a new app, and it saves you an hour every Friday afternoon.
Okay, that sounds great. I'd love an extra hour.
Right, but what does the tyrant demand you do at that hour?
Oh, I see. I don't just get to sit on the couch.
No. The tyrant says, great, you saved an hour. Now you need to fill that freed up time with a side hustle or a language learning app or a high-intensity workout.
So no matter how much time or energy I save, the tyrant just eats it up.
The tyrant demands more output, always.
But okay, let me push back on this a little bit. Here's where it gets really interesting for me.
Sure, go ahead.
Most people, right, you and me included, we optimize to gain freedom.
That's the promise.
Right. We think, if I just hack my morning routine, if I get all my emails done by 9 a.m., then I'll have time to relax in the evenings. So how does the quest for freedom actually become a tyranny?
That is the ultimate trap. And it's a great question. The tyranny lies in the mindset shift that happens along the way.
The mindset shift.
Yeah. Once your brain becomes wired for optimization, your relationship to time fundamentally changes.
Okay, how so?
Because you've trained yourself to evaluate every minute by its output, sitting still suddenly feels like a failure.
Oh, man. That is painfully relatable.
Right. You finally get that free evening you worked so hard for. You sit down on the couch to do nothing.
And you feel guilty.
Exactly. The cost of peak productivity is that you literally lose the cognitive ability to exist without a purpose or an output.
You feel that low-level hum of anxiety, like, I should be doing something.
You've conditioned your nervous system to view stillness as a threat to your efficiency, so you never actually get the freedom you optimized for.
That is incredibly bleak.
But it makes so much sense. If we are under this tyrant's rule and our only recognized value is what we produce, it really makes me wonder about our internal world.
Oh, it changes everything about our internal world.
Because things go wrong, right?
Yeah.
We are human. What happens when we experience, like, negative emotions? If I'm a machine, what does a bad mood look like to the tyrant?
This is where we get into the really critical theme of the source material, this idea that some things are meant to be felt, not fixed.
Okay, let's dive into that.
When you view your life as a machine, the optimization mindset completely pathologizes normal human friction. Pathologizes it, like treats it as a disease.
Exactly. Natural emotional states, things like sadness, grief, boredom, or just general lethargy, they're suddenly categorized as bugs.
Like glitches in the software.
Right. And because your primary focus is on maintaining peak productivity, your immediate instinct isn't to ask why you're sad or burned out.
Your instinct is to find a life hack to fix it.
Exactly. You just want to patch the bugs so you can get back to producing.
Wow. So what does this all mean for you listening to this right now? It's like treating a broken heart or a bout of severe burnout the exact same way you'd treat a flat tire.
That's a brilliant way to put it.
Right. You just want to slap a patch on it, pump it up as fast as possible, and get right back on the road. You don't want to sit by the side of the highway and think about the journey.
And the danger there is massive. Because by rushing to fix those emotions, we completely bypass the necessary human process of actually feeling them.
We bypass the feeling entirely.
Yeah. Emotions aren't just obstacles to your productivity. They contain data. They contain deep meaning.
Like if you're bored, your brain is trying to tell you something.
Exactly. Boredom is often the birthplace of creativity. Sadness is a way of processing loss and recalibrating what matters to you.
But if I'm trying to optimize my day, I don't have time for sadness.
Right. You try to bypass it. You think, I'm feeling a deep sense of existential dread today. Let me drink a green juice, do a 10-minute guided meditation on 1.5x speed, and get back to my inbox.
You are literally trying to life hack your way out of grief.
Which is impossible. Denying ourselves the right to feel the right to just sit in the messiness of being human is a massive, hidden cost of a productivity-obsessed life.
It's like we are starving ourselves of the actual experience of living just so we can be better workers.
That systemic avoidance of feeling combined with that internal tyrant we talked about.
Right, the voice demanding more output.
Yes, that combination leads us directly to the ultimate conclusion of the source text.
Which is the misery.
Exactly. The subtitle of the piece is literally, Why Being Optimized is Making You Miserable.
And it really ties all these threads together to answer that central why. Because usually society tells us that if we're stressed or unhappy, it's because we aren't optimized enough, right?
Oh, that's the standard advice.
Yeah.
You just need a better planner. You need more discipline.
You need a better morning routine. But this source material synthesizes everything we've talked about to flip that on its head.
It does. The deep dive reveals that the misery is not a side effect of failing to optimize.
This is the crazy part to me.
The misery is the direct result of succeeding at it.
Say that again because I really want that to land for everyone listening. The misery is the result of succeeding.
When you achieve what we call peak productivity, when you have your calendar color-coded, your meals prepped, your sleep tracked, and your output maxed out.
When you are the perfect machine.
Yes. When you reach that state, you have successfully stripped away all the inefficient, unoptimized things that actually make life worth living.
The inefficient things like what?
Like spontaneity, like aimless wandering, daydreaming, untethered connection with other people where you aren't watching the clock.
Because none of those things have an ROI. There's no return on investment for just sitting on porch watching it rain.
Zero ROI. So the optimized mind views them as a waste of time and eliminates them.
So I want to bring this directly back to you, the listener. Think about your own life for a second. How often have you felt guilty for just sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing?
I bet everyone listening has felt that.
Right. You feel guilty because it wasn't a productive use of a Sunday afternoon. And that is exactly what the text is pointing out. The misery doesn't come from chaos. It comes from this constant vibrating background hum of guilt.
That guilt is the tyrant telling you that your existence isn't justified unless you are producing.
It's exhausting just talking about it.
It is, but true human fulfillment, real, deep joy, often lives in the messy, inefficient, untunable parts of life.
The parts you can't measure on an app.
Exactly. The optimized life basically creates this sterile environment. Think of it like a clean room in a laboratory.
Okay, a clean room.
It's an environment where peak productivity thrives because there's no friction. But human joy suffocates in a sterile room. It needs the dirt. It needs the mess.
Joy needs the inefficiency.
100%.
That is just, it's such a profound shift in perspective to realize that the goal isn't to be a better machine, but to allow yourself to be a messy human.
And that takes courage, honestly.
It really does. So to kind of recap this whole journey we've been on today, we started by looking at how treating ourselves like machines to be tuned creates this completely tyrannical mindset.
The tyrant of peak productivity.
Right, and how that tyrant forces us to try and fix or life hack away normal human emotions.
Emotions that are fundamentally meant to be felt.
Exactly, which ultimately strips away our joy and leads straight to the misery outlined in the source text.
It's a tough cycle to break, but recognizing it is the first step.
It is. And as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final lingering question to mull over long after you take your headphones off today.
Something to really think about.
Right. If you were to intentionally introduce just a little bit of inefficiency into your life tomorrow.
I love this.
If you fired the tyrant of optimization for just 24 hours, what messy, unhacked, perfectly human feeling might you finally have the space to experience?
Thanks for spending this time with us on Coffee Break. If this conversation stayed with you, you can find more episodes here on the channel. Until next time, take care.